So this right here is my concealer collection, and I really only right now am using Hourglass, CoverGirl, Neutrogena, and like one other concealer. So they're not in this drawer. This is like my overflow drawer. So some of these I have had since the beginning of my YouTube career. So some of them it's definitely time to say goodbye to. So if you'd like to see what I part with and what I keep as far as concealers go, then just keep watching. I'm going to start off with the Tarte Shape Tape because I have had that for well over 5 years, and while it's great to compare to, I know it's expired. These Benefit Bowing concealers, they're lighter coverage, but I did like them and they are newer, so I'm going to hold on to these. The CoverGirl Clean Fresh, I did not like this concealer at all. This one from ColourPop is expired. This one is also very old, expired. Here's another Rimmel Stay Matte. It was a good one, but expired. I love my CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer, so I'm keeping all of these. Here's another one. Love the Infallible collection from L'Oreal. I'm keeping this one. Wow, I absolutely love this concealer, this shade. It was just too dark and too orange for me. This one's 840 Natural Base. So I'm passing on this one, but I'm keeping all of my other CoverGirl Outlast concealers because they're fantastic. These Kevyn Aucoin ones, I remember really liking. They are a little bit older, but I just checked them and they aren't smelling funny. They still smell okay, so I'm going to keep these as well. ColourPop Pretty Fresh. I got this one in the last year, I would say. But it doesn't smell great, and it looks like it's already separating in the tube, so I'm going to toss this one. Same with the CoverGirl True Blend. It's lit. I didn't care for this one. The Amazing Cosmetics Concealer. This was just so thick. I just couldn't get it to work for me. This is Golden Ivory. The It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eyes. These are really beautiful. There's like an illuminator and a brightener. I like these. They're a little bit thicker, but I'm going to keep those. Too Faced Born This Way. I just haven't been a fan of the Too Faced products other than their shadows, so I'm going to pass on this one. Dermablend concealers. These are really good, really high coverage, long lasting. I'm going to keep these. I have Light and Fair. Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin. This one definitely expired, especially since it has the like anti-acne stuff in it. That stuff tends to go bad faster. Loved this concealer, but obviously it's empty and kind of dried out, so I'm going to pass on this one. I think I did buy a new one. Another ColourPop one that's obviously old. It's separated. It's, yeah, the writing's coming off. It's time to go. It Cosmetics CCI Color Correcting Concealer. This one is nice. You just have to use it sparingly. This isn't fair. I'm going to keep this one. Oh, my La Mer. This is like my most expensive concealer. And while I don't usually like stick concealers, I keep these just because it's so expensive. I can't part with it. Lorac. This is probably one of the first concealers I ever fell in love with. So it's kind of old, but I tried it the other day and it still smells fine and works really well. So I'm going to keep it just because it's like a tried and true oldie. Another Amazing Cosmetics one that I just never got to work for me. Ooh, love this one. The Giorgio Armani. I forget what this one's called, but I have 2 of the shades in my everyday drawer, so I'm going to hold on to this one. Another Catrice Liquid Camouflage. This one was also really, really good, but you can just see it separating and old, so time to replace them. Oh, Wet n Wild Incognito. This was a really good affordable drugstore concealer, and it's pretty new. I bought it probably in February. Cover FX Power Play, a really, really good one. The color just wasn't quite right for me. I got it because of Kathleen Light's recommendation. I love the round applicator. I don't know, it's just a little peachy for me, but I can make it work, so I'm going to hold on to this one. Another Dermablend. This one's slightly too light, but really good formula. Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer. I remember when everyone was raving about this a couple years ago. This is from First Aid Beauty. Just doesn't smell great anymore, so I'm going to pass on these. Maybelline Superstay, if you want something that's going to last and be full coverage, this is it. But it's a little on the cakey side for my preferences now. I prefer more medium coverage, so I'm going to keep it for my full coverage looks, but it's not something that I reach for on the daily. Meryl Norman Cover Up Corrector, very thick and very, very light, so it just didn't work for me. Revlon Color Stay Skin Awaken Caffeine and Vitamin C. I didn't care for this, but so many people have been raving about it. I feel like I need to give it another shot, especially this like number 2 peachy one. So I'm going to hold on to this and put it in the try again bin. Another L'Oreal Infallible. I'm going to hold on to that one. Oh, the e.l.f. ones. You can see they've separated, but they're usually okay. They still smell okay. I'm going to hold on to these. They're really, really good concealers. This is probably the other concealer I reach for often. CoverGirl Outlast All Day. I loved this line, but they've reformulated it, so I know that this is on the older side and it has a sponge tip, so it's probably time to toss it. Neutrogena Radiant Cream Concealer. I like these, but they don't have a ton of coverage. I'm going to hold on to it simply because it has peptides, and I love things with peptides in them. LA Girl Pro Conceal High Definition Concealer. This one was what everyone had back when YouTube first started. It's very, very peachy. I'm going to keep it though for comparison. It's not that old. I did replace it at CVS not too long ago. Then we have 2 more IT Cosmetics ones, which I am going to keep. And then over here we have the newer Superstay Activewear Concealer, which I thought was a little on the thin side and not super high coverage compared to their other Superstay ones. So if you want like higher coverage, longer lasting, go with this one. If you want more of a thin formula, go with this one. So I'm going to keep it because it's new and I'm still kind of trying it out. That brings me to this can over here, which I will get to in just a second, but I'm going to put these back first. Okay, so we cut it down from a whole bunch of concealers here and this being packed to, I would say, about 75% of just the container. So that's pretty good. Over here, we have, like I said, the deeper concealers. This one's Light Neutral Ultra Beauty. I really do enjoy the Ulta concealers. I'm going to keep that one. This one was really pretty. It was like a pink color corrector for under the eyes. It's the shade Radiant Honey, which I don't think was the right shade for me. So I'm going to pass on this one. The CoverGirl Outlast Buff Beige. This one did work when I had a tan, so I'm going to keep this one. This one is missing the applicator and it's the shade Medium. It's just a little bit too dark for me. So I'm going to pass on this one. Actually, I'm going to throw this one away. We have 3 of the CoverGirl shades. I probably kept this one for my daughter, but she doesn't really need concealer. And if she does, I'll just make her a shade. So I'm going to get rid of this one. I Am Never Sand, and I will keep this one, which is Perfect Beige. We have the e.l.f. Medium Peach. I don't think I'm ever peach, so I'm going to pass on this one too. We have the L'Oreal True Match in, I don't know what shade this is, but this is a beautiful concealer. I'm going to keep that one. And then we have some more deeper shades for my daughter, but again, like I said, she doesn't usually need concealer, so I'm going to toss these. Smashbox Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Concealer. This is another one that I reach for often, and another Ulta Beauty in medium. Is this ever my shade? I don't think that's ever my shade. That's a little too peach, so I'm going to pass on this one. And then finally, we have the Dermablend in 30N, which I will keep. So these are the concealers that I am keeping. And these are all the concealers that I am getting rid of. So I would say that's a pretty successful clean out. Thanks for watching.